5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds Radiant remaining. Team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
tend to see it really just tear through a lot of heroes.
Team ban.
Great magic damage for the DK, so in that sense, you've kind of balanced that out. With the Grimstroke, a lot of initiation potential, and a lot of great laning presence from these two heroes, so it's pretty solid for Neon. Geek Fam, though, this is an opening we see them go back to every single time, and the Queen of Pain does make an appearance. So it's that flexible two sets of heroes here for Geek Fam. Either one could be played by Kuku or Carl, so you're never quite sure what that mid matchup will be.
That is true. The classic DK quad. It's can't remember how many times it's been now we've seen Geek Fam go for this opening. But it usually means they are going to be feeling pretty good going into this game with that opening of that DK quad. I think Neon Esports probably should have expected this to come out though, in all fairness. It has been multiple times now that Geek Fam has had this exact opening. We'll see one more ban coming up from Neon Esports before the draft continues. The Timbersaw, of course, somehow made it to the 5th ban for Geek Fam. That's been a first ban every single game we've seen. But now it is removed, so we won't see it this game either. Actually, it would have been quite nice up against the DK if Neon Esports did want to pick it up, but they opted for that Void Spirit Grim instead.
5 seconds remaining.
Now, Neon Esports, they might have a think about this 5th ban out. You can't a Treant Protector that is still available right now. I doubt they'll go down the route though, because you do have that Quap DK now, so you probably won't have space for it. And I don't really think they need it per se, but you may want to get rid of the Lycan if you're Neon Esports. We say from Raven, I mean they just, it wasn't even close.
No.
It's not Lycan.
Yeah, it's really tricky because Geek Fam plays around it perfectly, and again, it was in their last game against Execration where Geek Fam went a bit wild with that draft. Just Raven finding, 25-minute AC, Necronomicon, Tree, and Radiance on the Lycan, so probably not the best hero to give him, and they do ban it out as respect. They clear for themselves, which is, I guess, really nice in this scenario because you've got the Grimstroke on your side. You don't have to worry about the Rolling Thunder being held down. You could go for Bane. Yeah, Geek Fam just take that Bane in response, just to keep the Pangolier in place. So they get that solid 5, and that Bane has been popping back in, Mike.
It's been very popular, John. I think it's probably the best pos 5 in the game right now. Arguably, I mean, maybe not the best, but it's pretty darn good. Like, I'd say it's at least considered an A tier if you're gonna put it in the tier list. It's really, really good right now. Very potent. It did receive nerfs in the previous patch. Mostly, they switched up the level 10 and 15 talents, so your cast range talent went from level 10 to level 15, which did hurt. But overall, the hero is still just amazing overall. And of course, up against the Pangolier, you can Fiend's Grip him during the Rolling Thunder, and that way he just can't do anything with that ulti. Same goes for the Void Spirit, of course. You have that great catch for the Void Spirit. And now the Pucky, even more value coming out of this Bane. Although now there's 3 targets he has to try and go for, in all fairness. But there is a lot of value.
Definitely is. I do still like the Puck here for Neon. I think that gives him a very strong way of keeping that Queen of Pain down with the Dream Coil. So you've got really good control here from Neon. You've got great team fight coming out. You have some flexibility with the Puck as well. It's still pretty open whether or not you want to toss the Puck mid, or the Puck off, or the Void mid, or the Void off. So there are options there for Neon in running their draft and getting the lanes out. Of course, you've got some issues maybe with the Pango 4. We've seen some teams struggle to find that EXP, if that is what Neon will do to Pango. But otherwise, it is fairly open for them, so there is flexibility to consider. Geek Fam's response, though, the Ricky coming out. Yeah, it definitely is.
We haven't seen the pause one, Ricky.
No. No, we haven't just yet, and I can see it working out for them, though. It kind of plays into Raven's playstyle. He does like to play semi-aggressively sometimes, although if you go the slower route for the Battle Fury, Ricky can kick into pace as well, so we'll see what Geek Fam does opt for. The silence is going to be great here. gives him great control over something like the puck or the void spirits. There's a lot of value in that Ricky. You don't have the best hold from Neon to truly lock him in. You're looking at maybe the remnant from the void spirit or the silence from the puck to really just kind of hold him down. Beyond that, the Ricky can kind of dance around here if you're not careful. So there is some pretty good mobility here from Fam with that Ricky. And yeah, the key thing is Raven's itemization. I wouldn't be too surprised if he went for the Battle Fury instead, as Raven does tend to prefer farming as in his playstyle.
10 seconds remaining.
Which is why I'm kind of surprised they went for that Ricky. Because I'm just not used to seeing him wanting to fight that early on. He really does just prefer to farm if he can. I think there's a hell of a lot of value here though with that smoke screen on the puck and Void Spirit though. Easy pickings for that Ricky this game around. Of course, Neon Esports, their final ban, they get rid of the clockwork, which is quite intriguing. I guess we could have seen a Zephyr possible clock. I wouldn't have expected it though, in all fairness. We haven't really seen that come out of him yet. Geek ban, they ban up the PL. They don't really have an answer to that PL this game, so it's a nice ban to make here for Geek Fam. And well, their final pickup now, they are still lacking that POS 4 or alternatively a mid. If they are going to run maybe the POS 4 Quap, which we did see from Zephyr yesterday. He did do quite well in that POS 4 Quap as well, so I wouldn't be quite surprised.
Yeah, I think the only issue for Geek Fam in this game with a pause for Quap would be control might be a bit lacking. You're really relying on the Bane in the early game. Maybe the DK steps in once you have a blink, but that sometimes takes a bit of time. So you might be having some issues in that sense, but again, we've seen Zephyr do it quite well. And the closer for Geek Fam is something I actually really enjoy. The Pugna makes an appearance, so you've got very fast pace from Geek Fam. Right? It's just really fast power pushes with the Pugna, with DK. You've got a way to punish the puck every single time the puck casts a spell. It's going to be harder to chain the blink escapes because you're constantly taking damage from the Nether Ward. So there's a refresh time. You can break the puck's combination there and can really start to melt through the map. Although, Neon's response, the Bloodseeker, that is one way to keep that Ricky in check and really tear through these heroes. And Geek Fam, it'd be hard.
Just to cripify and he can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's and even then, right, like if you've got someone that's quite low in HP that's being chased down, if you decrypt the Bloodseeker and just life drain your teammate to heal them up, well, it kind of just makes Bloodseeker, you know, somewhat not useless, but you get my point. It nullifies the whole point of the Bloodseeker. That's assuming that goes down. You know, it's not as easy as said than done.
It definitely isn't, but I think there is potential from both sides. Like with the Bloodseeker in this case, for it, you've got the nice AoE silence to maybe break off that Fiend's Grip from Whitemon, so you have a safer way to cancel that off without expending a big spell. Of note as well for Neon, they are pause 4 Spirit and the offlane Pango, so looks like we will be seeing play hard in Void Spirit this time. We'll see how much he can pull out from Void Spirit. It's not something we see in Southeast Asia too often, that 4 Void, but we have seen it in some other regions and it can get the work done depending on how aggressive. You just need to hit level 6 to really start applying even more pressure.
Sure, can be quite devastating.
我是一个没有感情的刷
Oh,
钱
there we
机
go.
器。
They're finally done. I was gonna say, it's not doing anything with these actions yet, but
There will be screaming.
of course, it wouldn't be a new day of SCA Dota without a great old course.
Oh yeah. First, it's 0 pause is how we like it. Just the way everyone likes it.
So it's gonna be that same. Regen on the Ricky. Well, what's going on? What are they saying?
No, he was just saying. Carl was just saying that Play Hard's is pretty big, pretty long. You know, Play Hard Seb is pretty long. And he's just like,
he does have a huge Seb, yeah.
Barry thanks. Play Hard's throwing some shit into Carl, saying that Carl's is just loose change in comparison. And they're somehow making fun of Zephyr for alt tabbing. Like he's not paying attention apparently.
I don't blame him. Zephyr's a man of business. He doesn't waste his time with these jokes and stuff, right? He'll be back once the game starts.
That's the brief. I don't know what underwear has to do, but apparently Cuckoo says it's just like purchasing underwear. Okay, Cuckoo.
What's like purchasing underwear? Huh?
I guess it's. I'm trying to check the context. I can't scroll up enough. See, this is an issue. What? Nah, this is probably inside stuff. I'm not sure what they're referencing. It's nice to see.
See you later, nerds.
On that note, by the way, we are trying to hire a Filipino that can translate for us, because John can't apparently. So if there's Filipinos out there, just send this through.
I don't know how Carl throws out the casual Yawa, but that's something good for us Bisaya folk. Just tossing our own curses out. That's always nice to see, Mike.
It is, he's a cultured man, John.
Yeah, just cursing in 2 dialects is always good.
It's very cultured. Bot lane Skem's gonna be there, but he's not gonna go after that bot bounty. He's by himself at the moment. So Geekbam will secure both bottom bounty runes, and the top runes, of course, will go to the way of Neon Esports. I was talking before that this Riki by Raven really shouldn't suffer too much in this lane. The Pango can be annoying, but that's really all I think he can be. Like, the base region of Riki is just so high in the laning stage that you can't really get through all his HP quite quickly.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Yep, it is play hard on it. So they are going with the core Pango, the pause for Void Spirit, which again isn't too common in Southeast Asia, but we have seen from time to time elsewhere, and it does kind of make sense, right? The Void Spirit doesn't take too much farm. You really need to just hit level 6. And at that point, play hard and start applying that pressure. Of course, at some point, you would want some way of farming the Ags. There's just way too much value in that item pickup, but with the Void on the pause 4, that timing's probably going to be delayed.
I'm gonna have a couple of disconnections here from Neon Esports.
And
drop from Geek Fam, I think it's such a fast-paced lineup, right? Like once you've got the DK at 6, you've got the Quap, maybe at that point she'll be level 8, and the Riki as well. Like Raven, he can join these team fights so fast if his team needs him. Like they may opt to just farm a little bit. They may not choose to start rushing down lanes. But once you get around that 10-minute mark, I think Raven may just join up with his team and start just joining the fights.
yeah,
I don't really see any reason for him to just keep farming here. Like, once you've got a couple Wraith Fans and Treads up on that Riki with a lineup like this, they do tend to melt quite fast on Neon Esports.
yeah, they're not the tankiest targets, and this does open up that early aggression for Geek Fam as well. I think one other really strong aspect of Geek Fam's draft is just their laning. Like, you look down bot, you see Scam on the Bloodseeker, you've got Whatmon and Zephyr around already to make that hellish. So if they want to just delay the progression of this Bloodseeker, and hanging around for a level or 2 down here should really make it hard for Scam to find some early last hits.
You should be able to just decrepify Scam on that Bloodseeker every time he goes for that last hit. force him to use the blood right to try and get those CS, but even then it can be quite challenging because it's just so projected. It's quite easy to just try and go into the denial while you have a chance, while that blood right is still charging up. There's gonna be a lot of pressure here on Yopaj as well. I think he's gonna have to be rotating quite early on in the puck. So things can escalate quite fast here with this draft from Geek Bam if you're not too careful. Disconnections coming out.
Yeah, it's just just a bad day for internet again. You know how it is. It's staple. Southeast Asian staple. Just like rice. You have it everywhere, it disconnects. I mean, you know, it's like I'm on mobile hotspot. I've got my dad's phone on top of my PC right now, hooked into a charger as well, just to make sure. Somehow it's holding up, at least for the voice, I hope. But there's some issues. Yeah, it's something. I'm pretty sure this is not playable, so I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. So I can get why these boys are trying to get as best of connection as possible.
Speaking of, did you try reconnecting to the camera thing again?
Oh yeah, it's calling in, and if okay, I got muted. I instantly have to mute it because it might just go off. It's not cooperating too well, but we'll try to get that fixed.
See you later, nerds.
Another day with the incident.
Yeah, Sepper's being nice though. Take your time, Zephyr. Facebook mode. Why are they making fun of Zephyr just alt-tabbing? He's been pretty on point, but you know, maybe he's got that multitasking up to par, just playing high-level Dota and surfing social media.
You're good at multitask these days, John. It's just not enough to have like one screen and, you know, can't be on one app at a time. That's not really 2020, John. You gotta get with the times.
Oh, absolutely. That's just the way it rolls now. Suffer though. Telling Scam to focus up. That's for Puck Boy Neon. That's a compliment from Carl. He's just saying that Neon are full of cool folk. You know, awesome. Yeah, that's a very roundabout way of saying it. I can't quite translate it, but I'm sure you can get the contents of Pakboy. It should be fairly obvious, I think. One would hope, since not coming true enough. But it's an accented way of calling someone a cool fella.
Okay. Well, it looks like we are going to be going ahead now, so disconnects are over. 5 minutes of pause time left as well, apparently.
Yo, this is the second time someone's asked Raven if he's in a rush. Every single time there's a pause and he's like, go. And everyone's like, are you in a rush, Raven?
I don't quite blame Raven. I mean, I don't know why players enjoy wasting time so much just sitting in a pause screen. It's, you know, you just want to play the game.
Yeah, but I guess Zephyr just enjoys that Facebook time, man.
That's fair enough. This is work time, Zephyr. No more Facebook for you, sir. It's going to be up against Jackie World, who's going to be harassing Zephyr quite a bit. Timing for the Pugna is quite slow. Plus, he went for the level 1 Netherworld.
Yeah, that's an interesting start. Not very common. I think this does make it harder for Scamp to spam, right? It's just that, well, level 1 ward is really easy to kill.
Bound to the flayed twins by
I'm not shocked he went for that. I appreciate the fact that you are going to remove a lot of mana there from Scam and just harass him out. But like, it's just so easy to kill off. And it's not like you're going to spam Bloodfight Banoffs at level 1. Just Scam. He'll put another one down. In all fairness, if you go to try and kill off that wood, you can take a lot of free harassment from Zephyr. That's the game plan here. Trying to force them to deal with the ward and then him harassing them while they do it. But no, yeah, get the denial. Cuckoo got the deny that one. Scam going to chase Cuckoo down with the Ink Swirl. See a bit of damage there on the DK. He'll be fine. We'll
Radiant's
have a look at the
turret
other lane.
has been killed.
But mid lane, your path is going to be up against Carl. Carl, saw him yesterday having a great old time on the Ember Spirit. Time around on the clock. Currently doing very well in this lane up against the park. Your partner's going to have to be careful about how much harassment he takes from Carl. Will eventually just salve off.
Yeah, still a slightly better lane so far for Yapaj. Just managing to clear the creep waves a bit better, but it's not like Carl's too far behind. This is going to be the story of this lane until perhaps you see an early lane support rotate out, but with how the side lanes are going, probably not going to be happening anytime soon.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we're only 2 minutes 40 seconds in. Now the Discord's having some issues.
Yeah, it's interesting to me though, because we tend to see a lot of teams call for, I believe it's TeamSpeak. So this is the first time I've seen someone call out for a Discord issue, so that's new.
Is it? Do people still use TeamSpeak?
Yeah, a lot of teams actually still use it.
Why?
I don't know. I guess they bought a server, you know, they bought some bandwidth, so they might as well. It is technically higher quality when you run your own server. You can control it a bit better. Maybe privacy or DDoS concerns.
Yes.
There was a period of time where teams were still using Skype and Discord wasn't big. So I guess a lot of them did just transition to TeamSpeak in that period. Yeah, that was the yeah, Skype. That's
the worst. It's just
it was. Oh yeah, it takes me back though. Like you and I think maintain our Skypes for just one person, and I'm that guy. He's a great fella in the CIS scene. Very fun to work
I don't
with.
maintain Skype at all. I don't have it installed. I don't have it installed right now.
I keep it installed. I see. Yeah, that's smart. I just keep it around just in case I get reminded to run ads.
Alright. The top lane, of course, we do have Whiteman and Raven there. Currently, Raven's top of the last hits board. He's really being uncontested by Rappy on this Pango. Which again was to be somewhat expected here. Like, it's very hard to win this lane as a Pango. Especially when Whiteman's there, and that's a missed swashbuckle as well. But Whiteman's just continuously harassing him out, and Rappy's really got no help around. Playhard has pulled the lane over, so he's trying to fix the lane up for Rappy, but this definitely isn't really helping out this Pangolier.
No. One of the things would avoid its laning presence is not the best. It takes some EXP to really build it up, and that's most something GeekFam is exploiting. As you mentioned, Raven pretty much free farming, and we've seen what happens when you let Raven have a free lane. It gets out of control very fast.
That probably will if they're trying to contain Raven now. They do have a lot of creeps coming the way of Rappy though, so he'll get a bit of XP for himself and hopefully a bit of gold as well. Of course, Whiteman's just going to take care of just chasing down Playhard, making sure he doesn't have a good old time. Playhard Mark is going to have a struggle here in trying to get those levels up. He'll go after an 8 onto Carl, but Carl will dodge it out quite easily. Playhard right now is just soaking XP off your Page, but he can't go back to the top lane because Whiteman's just blocking the way. He's kind of stuck here.
Scanning.
He scans Whiteman, still going to be chased though. Whiteman's hitting like a truck right now as well, which doesn't really help. He literally just can't get back to the lane. He's going to go the longest way possible.
Yeah, it's really hurting that top lane. Not the best results for Neon. You're just going to have to cop it. I mean, there's not much choice there. This is what they've drafted themselves into after all.
That they have. That mid lane though, your Page has started to overtake this Queen of Pain. Trying to go for that banner room snipe there from Carl. Your Page still going onto that flop. He could actually take him out, but now Zeppa's coming in and Carl is bottling up through all auto attack. Your Page though, Orb is going to be there. Does he want to jaunt in? He does, but he can't really kill Carl. And now he's in a very awkward position. He has to keep you out of there. He'll be alright in the end. Straight back to that mid lane. Well, your Page, if he can keep this up, he should be able to really carry his team through the mid game on that path. They are going to need him to set the tempo.
Yeah, it's really down to Yapaj just finding a stronger start. It is already a bit good, you know, he's about a wave ahead of Carl, which is a nice start. You rarely see Carl in this kind of situation. And the puck can start making those early rotations. You've got the level 6 up and running. There you go, the Dream Coil's out.
Those come out now, spring. Sonic Wave got dodged out by your paths and he gets the kill. First blood is going to be there for the path.
Fascinating substance. My gratitude.
Great dodge on that Sonic Wave. That's going to really hurt for Carl, not only dying, but getting that Sonic Wave on cooldown for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a nice big win for Neon down mid, and again, if Yapaj maintains that pace, he should be able to get a lot more. White on though, being chased out.
He's in trouble. The Nightmare does finally get taken off of Rappy, but he doesn't really have the swashbuckles anyway.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Couldn't go
attack.
for the chain. I thought White was just going to die there for sure, but the brain tap kept him alive. Rappy is still struggling quite a lot though. Like, he's got 23 lances from the Tango. Now Raven, he comes in for 1 blink strike and you saw the damage. He just can't really sustain himself in this lane anymore. To make matters worse, we see Playhard, he does rotate. But they tried to make the chase onto Cuckoo it seems, but Cuckoo TP'd out. They didn't really have the ink swell off in time to really stop the TP. It's just gonna hurt Neon now because you've rotated Playhard. He's already suffering in terms of levels. He's gonna run all the way up to the top lane again now. It's just not used.
No, it definitely isn't. Neon's early game, sure, fine first blood on Yapaj, but every other lane is still hurting. You're not finding the snowball you'd want from Scam, although he is finding last hits. Cuckoo, I'm sure, is happy with just finding his EXP on the DK, and this is again something Geek Fan need to find their levels, hit a good stride on Raven, and even if you haven't slowed down that Bloodseeker, well, you do have
Radiant's
solutions for
top
that
tower is under
to
attack.
support Pugna anyway, so it's not going to be a point of concern. And you look at Zephyr, he actually did skip decrep. He's really just maxing out the nether ward.
Make the jump onto Zephyr now. Zephyr's going to be in trouble with that side. He's going to have the wall die. Now the jump in, playing hard. Sonic Wave is going to be quite decent, but yeah, that does dodge it out of shit. They do get off play hard though. Yes, he can have the wall back off. It is about that point though, now they'll probably rotating this 4 or 5 and find pickoffs across the map to be. But back to that Pugna build. Why?
Radiant are scanning.
Another way to go about it, I think they're just really trying to punish the puck and just make it hard for them to cast spells. So you're again limiting use Am from the Bloodseeker, although down bot.
Yeah, bot. Now with that 4, they are very easy on that T1
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower is
And
under
this is
attack.
really the problem with getting that DK over the Geek Fam. They do this every single time they hit that level 6 timing. There is going to be a rolling thunder. Now your pass does rotate Cuckoo. It's going to be a pretty big trouble. They try and turn around, but there's nothing he can do. Skim is going to rotate in and he's taking the kill for himself. They do successfully stop the bot push from happening, but it is a substantial amount of damage.
Yeah, it really is, and I'd say at this point, finding that defense is already a win for Neon. Big Fam, gotta be a bit careful. Maybe try to get some more EXP. Does have at least 1 point in decrep, but you're gonna want a few more. Although Raven is hunting Scam.
Scam is just way out of position right now. Setting up the top tier 1 push by farming that area, but there's nobody there. Genuel just made his way up. That's a big pick off there for Geek Fam. That was the POS 1 of Neon Esports.
That's a really good punishment from Geek. Scam, you can find Safer Farmer hunt more successfully. They do find Zephyr the least.
But they do.
Surprise!
But Cuckoo's just focused on trying to force that mid tower now. He's just switching lanes. High priority target. it may kill him off quicker. He's going to make a run for it, but he has been stunned up as well with Rappy. He might have missed that swashbuckle, but it won't matter. They do get the kill on now. Carl is going to be in trouble. A great Sonic Wave though. They bring the Bane in as well. Rolling Thunder out. This puck is appearing to stumble the Nightmare out, and he does try to blink away, but the Rupture will pull it off. Yeah. Maybe just didn't realize the Rupture was there.
Top tower is under attack.
And you can actually blink and dodge the Rupture damage on the Queen of Pain. That is possible, but if you don't realize the Rupture's there, you won't be able to really commit to the trick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky distance to have to estimate, and you know, it's something that I guess Carl wasn't quite ready for. So Neon is starting to kick up that early aggression, but you look at Raven. He's been left to farm up. He hasn't really been punished. He's going for the defusal build, so it is a more aggressive build for Raven this time. Not opting for the Battle Fury, but he's been allowed to farm a 1k advantage over Scam. It's really not what you want to be seeing from Neon, as the few kills they've gotten are nice, but Geek Fam are just advancing on these objectives at a faster pace.
With this Bloodseeker, like, you need to be ahead. Like, you do not want to be behind the stage of the game as a Bloodseeker. You should be the one being aggressive here. Raven gets Dream Coiled off, and now they're not coming in. Raven trying to get out. And then Raven does blink away, but now Zephyr does take the Rupture. Now rolling bottom, goes White, connects onto Raven. Soulline's going to be able to double dance, but Beast moves out from White, but he does catch the Pango. Still, they do end up killing off that Ricky. Now going on White on the Bane. They will leave the Bane alone, maybe just deciding Cuckoo's a better target. Will they have the damage though? I think so, I'll go pretty hard, but now Cuckoo will turn around with the Dragon Tail.
Radiant's middle tower
Just don't really have the damage output to deal with the DK unless you have everyone basically surrounding him. And this is with Cuckoo actually skipping out on the braces. He's just going straight for that blink.
Yeah, I don't blame Cuckoo for going this way. He needs to be up in front, setting the pace to counteract Neon's aggression. So the fast blink is necessary, but you're still seeing him quite tanky, and that is paying off great. I think, look at Zephyr now, does have the level 6, so you've got the sustain that can come out from Geek Fam, and that makes it a lot more complicated in trying to actually pick them off as long as Zephyr's positioning is on point. So you do have certain tools coming out for Geek. Neon still gonna be happy with finally getting punishment on Raven, but they did give away that tier 1 anyway. Geek Fam's still finding the objectives in the end, and I'm sure they're gonna go for that mid tier 1 next. It's at 300 HP, not much left to it.
Like Rappy's trying to at least split push the top lane, but we are going to have a DC now from Geek Fam's end, which means that my high time is coming soon. So teams now. Time is upon me. I'll get ready for the disconnection. So we'll have the go ahead from Geek Fam. They reconnect quite fast.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You know, this build from Zephyr is still intriguing me. Like, it does have some place, I just don't know why you'd really value max death ward over even Nether Blast. Like, just max ward over Nether. Like, this is slowing down push a tad for Geek Fam and minimizing their damage output, but is kind of working as well, right? Like, it has kind of tempered that aggression, although
I mean, it makes sense in a way. Like, having that max Nether ward is going to be so detrimental in these early team fights, right? Because you don't have the greatest mana pools, you don't have huge mana regen. Like, just the AoE degen aura of the mana will be quite detrimental in a team fight. But you pointed out earlier, like, the puck has so many spammable spells that it is going to be quite effective up against a hero like that. To just put it down and just see all the damage start ticking out. Even the Void Spirit, like, just such low cooldown.
yeah, it's I don't think we've seen the full effect of it just yet. I think the positioning that Zephyr has been forced to drop in has been less than ideal, but it is at max level now, so the damage kicks in, the mana loss kicks in as well. Should start to have a bigger factor in these fights.
Now trying to steal those bounty runes, but Raven does kill off Playing Hard. Now they also find Januel.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, they're pushing in the mid lane there with Yopaj, but it's just a park. Geekfam are rotating into that mid lane now, trying to secure that T1. Cuckoo will just go straight into the tower. He'll turn around onto Yopaj, trying to force him back, and now the Blink Dragon Tail is there, and Carl will get in with the Sonic Wave. Yopaj in huge trouble, and there's another Lord kicking in.
Yeah.
And now that he's got the Blink, right, like the Blink on the park, that's when another Lord's really going to hurt. You may not be able to get it up.
Oh yeah, it's really going to pay off now. Like, this was a very patient set of builds from Zephyr, but this is going to help them massively. A little White Fawn Copster Rupture.
Doesn't pop the TP yet. Goes to the brain tap TP. Rolling Thunder is going to be forced down. They'll just commit for the easy kill of that Bane. So
yeah, it's
8-8. There's a 4K net worth lead here for Geekfam. And again, you look at Scam, he's just been struggling on this Bloodseeker.
It's been slow going, and he went for the drums build just to have more early presence for his team. What we tend to see from the core seekers have been a Blade Mail Radiance Rush or an SNY Radiance, but the timing doesn't feel great for Scam. They did smoke, but it's immediately popped by Zephyr.
Yeah, Zephyr does break it. Now looking to place that Nether Ward down, but it's being chased by Playhard. There is going to be a Dream Call out, but it's doing nothing. Raven is still perfectly fine. Playhard will jump back in, but Raven just juking and diving. Now the Decrep lifesteal is going to be there on that burst, but Playhard is kicking out. Januel, no, he will go down, but so will Playhard. Now the Bloodseeker, he's going to be able to run away, but I can't say the same for Yopaj, who does get stunned up and smoke screen.
See you later, nerds.
Well, you've got the Bloodseeker out of there, but Carl just tips him. I don't care, you did nothing in the team fight.
Yeah, that's going to be a consistent factor in these fights. Scam's presence is starting to be minimized. You know, at Belden, I'm not Zephyr at 9 now. All of a sudden, he has level 3 Decrep. So it becomes a lot harder for anyone to really just focus down and right-click, especially for that Bloodseeker. This mitigates his speed and gives a lot of downtime for Scam, even if up. So Geekfam are starting to build up here in Neon. Their draft is supposed to be just as aggressive. It's just not quite kicking into gear. They need to find a way to make it work. They need to keep hunting Raven. Because Raven joining these fights, he's still top of that word.
Yeah, but you got Robinson, big quarter there, but Cuckoo is around the area. Now Carl going straight after Yopaj, just trying to run away, but they couldn't even kill Zephyr off. He is going to survive, and now Skim's just forced to run. They're going to turn it around onto Cuckoo.
He's under attack.
Also survive. While Carl was still trying to kill off Yopaj, but doesn't quite get that kill in the park. But it does get really concerning when you can't deal with the pos for Zeph or Pugnox. And now Geekfam, they're going to run down to the bot lane. They don't have Dragon Form, but they don't really need it. They can slowly just siege away and wait for the next creep wave.
Yeah, it's
I mean, the best that Neon can do is just try to push in the top tower.
It's not going to be a favorable trade for Neon in that case. It's just not a high priority lane anymore for Geekfam, and you are seeing Neon's draft fall apart at the seams a bit. It is getting a bit wonky. Scam's presence is just not doing much. The ruptures not really working on Geekfam beyond that one time where Carl did try to blood dodge it, and beyond that point, it's been pretty well going for Geekfam. They're still finding farm, they're still pulling ahead, and they're playing aggressively. Carl is stuck up top though.
He is. Can't stop. Abrams is not latch on. They just can't. They can't secure the kill on the Queen of Pain.
Dire's top tower is under
Yes. You really need to land that combo. Every single time I think we watch play hard, the remnants just don't latch. It's really tricky there, but you depend so much of your control on that. And once it misses, oh no.
Yeah, Yopaj can't really afford to keep dying like this. His team was quite dependent on playing with the path. But they've just fallen so far behind now. You've got a 6k net worth lead on Geek Fam. They are pushing down objectives at the very least. They did find the top tier 1.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Well, they're trying to push to the top tier 2 a little bit.
Dire's top tower is under
But ultimately, they're
attack.
just avoiding the side of Geek Fam right now, which I can't quite blame them for.
Radiant's
But now
middle
a smoke
tower
is there
is
for
under
Geek
attack.
Fam. Cuckoo. Looks like the Dragon's Storm play hard. Keeping up, and no, Dragontail and Nightmare both going to be there. Play hard, can you juke yourself out of this? He will Astro Step away, but, well, he Astro Steps again. They are on the chase, they do want the kill. Carl, blink your vision. Play hard, still 20 seconds for another Astral Step. He is probably going to die if they can just secure the vision. No, he's juked out quite nicely and simulate again. Carl will just Sonic Wave. It's enough wasting time. Meanwhile, mid lane Zephyr, he's going to be in trouble. Double silence out on that partner. He's in big trouble. In fact, he's taking a fair bit of damage, but now that the pressure comes down, Dream Coil is there. Can they actually finish the job off though? Not quite. They could finally get it, but your pass goes down, and now a beat on Scam.
The next label play. The next label.
And even Januel, you try to run away, but Carl's going to be on top of him. Raven gets the triple kill on the Ricky. And it's just turned into a good old-fashioned stomp.
It really is. 9-17, 9k lead for Geek Fam. And Neon, they keep trying to commit onto Zephyr, and they have to throw so many bodies out for a pause 4. It's just shaping up the way Neon would like. I think Scam has to reconsider that build. Oh no.
Rappy does barely get away with his life intact. Play hard. Sun's going to be there on the Void Spirit. He is in huge trouble.
You didn't see
Raven
that
just
coming.
online now. Like, you got the BKB up. He didn't even need to use that last little engagement.
No.
No necessity for it.
Yeah, he's got so much space to just command these fights that, again, Neon just feels like they have to focus Zephyr, but it's not enough. And oh no, Scam.
Easy kill. Genuel there as well, but there's really no hope to survive.
Nah, they call it.
Yeah. They're too far ahead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
9-19, 12k, 21 minutes. Raven again with a great farm. Cuckoo and Carl with great aggression and
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 Radiant seconds remaining. Dire team back. Dire team back. Radiant team back. Seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. 10 seconds remaining. Dire team back. 5 seconds team back. Radiant team back. Seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. Dire team back. Radiant team back. Dire
for the second game between Geek Fam and Neon Esports, it is MLP Dota and John Expired. John, still haven't got your cameras working, sir, but how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. That was a very explosive first game showing from Geek Fam. And it does kind of continue down that historical matchup, right? Like, Geek Fam has beat out Neon consistently. We saw that in the last game. We'll see whether or not Neon managed to fix their playstyle, maybe fix a bit of that drafting. I have to say though that they continue to allow Geek Fam to have access to the Queen of Pain and DK, and that's not a great sign for me. I'm feeling great. That was a very explosive first game showing from Geek Fam, and it does kind of continue down that historical matchup, right? Like, Geek Fam has beat out Neon consistently. We saw that in the last game. We'll see whether or not Neon managed to fix their playstyle, maybe fix a bit of that drafting. I have to say though that they continue to allow Geek Fam to have access to the Queen of Pain and DK. That's not a great sign for me. Yeah, I like this response that Beastmaster with the Tideburn. It can clear out the army quite fast, and it just makes it a lot easier to stop that push coming out from Neon. I do have to say though, the Queen of Pain will have to be a bit more careful with the war this time around. Neon does have a very strong hold, so we do have a way of keeping that locked in place. We'll see whether or not Geek Fam does try to rectify that down the line, or they're just perfectly fine with that. If it's a support, you don't care as much. Like Zephyr play the effective quap at 4 anyway, so having a direct counter for 4 isn't too amazing. There's still space there for Geek Fam. We'll have to be a bit more careful with the war this time around. Very strong hold. So one thing we really talk about is Rated Potato is not bad, but it's still trying to wrap up. So that has to try to rectify that down the line, or they're just perfectly fine with that. Neon, they're going to take a bit of time here to you don't care as much. Like Zephyr play the effective quap at 4 anyway, so having a direct counter for 4 isn't too easy. There's still space there for Geek Fam.
I can't quite blame them for that. And funny enough, I didn't even notice this, but the Earth Shaker has been bad. Both these actually challenges.
Yeah, it's one of the few days where we actually see not being a priority. It's been a few series actually where the ES has kind of been ignored, so we'll see what GFAM will want to pick that up, and if Neon does ban it out here, of course, GFAM do pick up ES, you're picking into Rubik, so that can be tricky, giving a lot more value for Neon to play around with that, and Rubik's already a very strong response to a potential taker pick, so Neon's kind of got their bases covered. You have to say, Rubik, as you mentioned, lots of nice spells to steal the Punka. I think having access to X is going to be really good, and even if both isn't too complicated to steal, so you can have added subtlety and control on Neon inside, so that can be a bit of a problem. I think Neon has set themselves up quite nicely. They've fixed a few of those drastic issues we saw. If it is going to stay hard in time, I'm sure we can expect it covered a lot more. GFAM, the Chakras was left with stealth, and there is still Beastmaster on the second side, so stat match. We've seen this so many times up against the Beastmaster. You just take away 4, and so many of the Beastmaster's laning potential is severely weakened. Neon has set themselves up quite nicely. They've fixed a few of those drastic issues we saw.
Taken away from you. It's like devastation on the next it's covered a lot. Just remove the game. That can make things even harder because then you just have no ball and he has one. So Neon Esports now going to start thinking again about the third pickup. Only 20 seconds of burst time left for this. They are thinking quite hard. In all fairness, game 1 was a very dominant victory for GFAM, so I don't quite blame them for taking their time. But they do go to the Oracle. Devastation is fine. We might see a troll coming up in Neon Esports. GFAM, though, they won't really care too much. They go straight into the PA. That can make things even harder.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one to pick into Oracle of all heroes. I think the Oracle's a pretty good response already to the PA. This does tell me GFAM's just very confident. Like, it's like picks the P on to Shaker. You feel confident up against the natural counter. PA, you have to be worried about SR, you have to be worried about the magic damage and control the Beastmaster can bring out, and if False Promise just delays that burst, and you control, right? It's gonna be there because it's an Oracle deck. Control against PA isn't too bad, so PA can hurt from the mischance as well. So it can be a bit back and forth. I'm a lot more confident in Neon's draft this time. It is a lot easier to pull off. Stem on the troll should be have to be worried about SR, have to be worried about the magic damage and control the Beastmaster can bring.
That troll into the PA. Like, you have that naturally built evasion in the PA, which is going to make it a bit hard for this troll warlord.
Dire team.
We'll see how it pans out for Neon. It's they do better Pugman now. Well from Zephyr. Because Zephyr was being quite disruptive in that first game. They just want to try and remove that hero and just have a bit of a break from being decrepit and having nether wards everywhere and being life drained constantly.
10
Final
seconds.
pick up. They are looking for their mid hero. No matter what they are choose.
5 seconds.
As it stands, it still seems like they are going to be up against that Kunkka in the mid lane. They could go for the DK still. It is there, and it would kind of match up with what Neon Esports is already going for. The only problem I see with the DK is that you don't really have control for the PA. They do go for it. I don't blame them for that. I think it is a good pick. It's just still a problem of how do you deal with the PA that I'm simply thinking about.
Yeah, it's either you focus on A or you focus on Quap, but you can't focus on both. That's really that's really the weakness of this draft. It's all single target
10
control.
seconds remaining.
So the team fight coming out from Neon, not the best. Geek Fam has that in spades with their Kunkka and Quap. Again, they've got the leeway in their last pick to exploit this. The DK gives Neon a lot of push with Beastmaster. I think that's even the troll, right? We've seen a lot of early trolls just shove in at tier 1. So that's something Neon can work for and apply a lot earlier and try to take objectives a lot faster. So look to Neon to try to find that early space by clearing out the map a bit. But yeah, I think they just want to play at 5 again. Like Quap, Queen of Pain, Quap and Kunkka gives you a lot of room to force these early fights, and there's still a last pick to be had here. It's looking like the Zephyr Queen of Pain with the Enchantress, which does lack control if they're going to go that route, but they tend to leave that last pick as a core. Usually the Carl or Cuckoo here if they're feeling a bit different there. There you go, yeah.
Yeah, the Timber. I didn't realize the Timber was still there. Really nice though for Geek Fam now, because you have a very easy way of getting through the HP. Of course, the Timber does not care about the armor of the Dragon Knight, so it will be a fairly easy way of just ripping through this DK. Overall, even with the Troll Warlord, like there's not much you can do as a troll up against this Timber. Of course, the Oracle can be a little bit frustrating with the Fortune's End just purging off the Timber, but overall, I think you're still very happy if you're Cuckoo this game. I say Cuckoo, but they haven't decided what lane he is going yet. It could easily be the mid Timber with Carl. In fact, they may go down that route. Yeah, they will. They give Cuckoo the Kunkka, Zephyr takes the Quap. And because they saw you punch on that mid DK, I can't quite blame them. Because this is a very easy lane for Carl now.
Yeah, it's an excellent last pick from Geek Fam. And there are some exploits here for Neon, right? But there's not amazing control from Geek Fam. They're relying on Cuckoo's spell usage and maybe the Enchantress to find a Centaur creep for the stun. Otherwise, Neon, they've got a lot of options to try to run away. Definitely a lot more control from Neon's side in that early game. So you look at the Oracle and the Rube to try to really make that work for themselves, but it's just hard, even without the control in Geek Fam. They've got the counter pick for the DK, they've got great wave clear for Geek Fam. It's going to be tricky for Neon to find space if they can ride out the laning phase, find their level 6, and start finding pickoffs. I think they can start to transition from those pickoffs into towers quite well, and that's really the best way for Neon to go. I just don't think Geek Fam will allow that. They'll group up to 5 by the time they hit 6, and they'll just keep fighting. Their lineup allows that.
We're going to see how it all pans out. Neon, they'd love to just get a draw here up against Geek Fam if they can. Because I believe Neon are playing in the next series as well, so it's not going to be a great start for them if they get O2'd here. Unfortunately for Neon, their next series is they're up against the so if you can make the argument it's even harder for that next best of 2 they're in. But that's to be decided. I mean, we'll see how Geek Fam performs in the second game, and then we'll make the determination whether ADROIT is going to be a harder matchup, as both teams are sitting pretty high up in the group stage right now. They get a tour of victory here.
Yeah, it's been a really good time for Geek Fam in those groups. They haven't dropped series. They've dropped a couple of games, sure. It's been consistent. Either they win or draw. They've just been performing really well. And Neon, middle of the pack. They've still got a lot of room to grow, a lot more game to play. So as you mentioned, when you play back-to-back series, it's the pattern, right? Like, we tend to see a lot of teams go 0-2, 2-0. The only team to break that cycle was Geek Fam. We'll see if Neon continues or starts to try to break that pattern as well.
Forget Neon Esports, they weren't even meant to be here. LGD Int got replaced by Neon Esports because I'm not sure what happened to LGD International, but they couldn't be here. So the fact that Neon's impressive, in my opinion, again, because they really weren't meant to be in the first place. So I still think Neon should be pretty happy with their position at the moment. But again, you definitely just want to try and draw this out. You don't really want to lose this series if you can avoid it. It would be their first outright loss so far for Neon Esports if they do get to it here. They're not going to be the best feeling.
Nah, definitely not. And I have to say I'm a bit surprised. GeekFam is starting with a tri lane up top first. So it's going to take some time. I'm sure Zephyr will just... I don't know. Whitemon will commit the blink down bot to help out the PA. Not the lane you want to leave Raven alone too long. Without that Enchantress around, you can see the Beastmaster start to pull ahead.
It looks like Whitemon was just trying to make sure they secure the balance. He just TP's down. You are going to have play hard there with Rappy, which is quite a strong lane, the Beastmaster Rubik, but the Enchantress should just nullify that quite easily. Raven should have no issues being able to farm up in this lane. Gets a decent block off as well. Just missing one creep there, but overall the equilibrium still stays his way. Mid lane,
yeah,
do have Carl up against your Page. We kind of briefly over this, but once you've got a point in that whirling death, this lane becomes unbelievably hard for your Page. And this is one of the rare DK lanes I would say could actually have quite a few kills going on. Because Carl, again with that whirling death, will be able to really abuse your Page's HP pool quite easily. You just don't care about the armor. The one strong suit of the DK is just removed.
Yeah,
we go again.
It's not going to be fun for your Page. The one thing he does have is at least, you know, the Timbersaw is not too tanked until you hit maybe level 2 reactor, so
he might be dead.
He can trade. Oh,
it's getting close. He does have to salve up. That's, you know, probably one of the earlier salve usages you'll see in the mid lane. It's to be expected, of course. I just don't see your Page having any chance of getting through the Timbersaw HP at all. There's just no chance. Your Page is going to have to try and secure the best he can. Bot lane, however, playing hard. Might be the first blood. He's getting chased down, and Raven does end up getting that first blood. So he was just chased up by Whiteman, and eventually Raven did just join in because he had no creeps to hit. Does blood gold.
Yeah, and this is, again, one of the issues with the Beastmaster against Ench. You're forced to go for the Axis build, which lets Whitemon go for Impetus level 1, so he can do trade freely up against Rubik, and it's really easy for Whitemon to just drag him low. So you are getting a lot more value here from the Ench, and Neon, that offlane, it's going to be hard to slow Raven down.
That it will be.
Oh, Rappy.
Yeah, he's in trouble now. Dagger comes out from Raven. Rappy gonna die as well. It's that enchant is just so darn strong. So at the very least, Neon Esports do get a trade onto Cuckoo. So the Kunkka does also around the same time. And, you will see the kill come out on Skim. So this time around it wasn't too bad. This is going to allow Zephyr to get some free XP and farmed on the flop for about a second. Cuckoo will just TP back into the lane.
Yeah.
See them at least finding that trade on Neon Esports.
Yeah, definitely. They should keep that aggression up while Zephyr is still weak. I mean, level 1 to, I'd say level 3 is when the support co-op isn't quite up to par, so that's the moment for Neon to exploit it. But once Zephyr has 3, once he has a lot more damage flying out, it's going to be really tricky for that. You're going to have to look at the Oracle to invest maybe in the E to block that damage, otherwise Zephyr will just be able to really pump up the harassment of this lane.
Well, bot lane playing hard again.
Oh.
Getting crashed up by Whiteman, and Raven was on the chase. Ultimately, Whiteman was able to finish off the kill. Rappy's going to try and turn around and dish out more harass. Because one thing we didn't really talk about is Rappy did go for the wild axes. So you don't have that ball being stolen, but it just doesn't seem to matter. They're finding the kills anyway.
Yeah, that's really what allowed that first blood in the first on, goes for the early impetus, and you just can't trade. So you're hitting the point now where you have level 3 of Rappy. The axes start to do a bit more. It does have the soul ring for harass, but it's not quite enough.
Still a great kill out for Skem now. He does find Zephyr on the Queen of Pain. Skem is having a good time in the safe lane for the side of Neon Esports. His CS isn't quite as high as Raven yet, but he is matching in kills at the moment. Cuckoo is not feeling very, very safe in this however, bot lane again, play hard will die. Now Rappy trying to run away, he should be successful in doing so. He's trying to secure the kill there on top. Wyman is being quite elusive on that Enchantress, and well, he'll just rotate to get those bottom bounty runes now as well. And that should mean a 3-for-1 trade on those bounties here for GeekFam. They are going to have a bit of a fight over at the top lane, but Yopaj now going to be rotated on by Zephyr. One more William Death will do it, and yeah, he's very fine, but that is not going to help. And Carl will give him the tip.
And this is just an easy thing for Carl. He's at level 6, he has the chop from up, level 3 reactive. There is no way this DK by himself will be able to apply that pressure. You do see this pressure rotate in, and their DKs, there's no point.
Want to soak some XP. They do need to stick around though if they expect Yopaj to get any form of XP in far, because Carl is not going to let it back in the lane. Zeph will come in, Yopaj is actually just going to die here. They're trying to get in range to help him out. Maybe they get lift off, but no, Yopaj is running along the You need to run towards your team. Oh. Trying to be saved like that, and now Whiteman takes Samuel down. Zeph are going to be with it there with the Shadow Strike. It's going to be another kill. This time Whiteman does take over the Enchantress. Even found an observer working the way up.
Radiant's bottom
I think you need to lane to chip. You can't keep this up.
No, definitely.
You're not going to get any space in this mid lane.
Nah, maybe you just toss the Beastmaster from it. He does have the axes, but it is tricky. And this is the point where Carl can just start cutting the waves, start forcing in the mid-tier 1. This does open the side lanes, but not let the side lane opening up has helped. I'm still finding kills. And Scam is farming, but it doesn't think that's going to be matching the farm from Raven. Raven all. Want to put your own pressure down bot.
A roll coming out from Rappy, they're just trying to get themselves the kill secured.
Dire's tower is under attack.
Committed, but you just something they can find the neutral creep as well for Skims. It's not all about that. Now they're going to start trying to force in that bottom tier 1 tower. Interestingly enough, instead of push the top and keep them to defend this bot tier 1, they're not actually going to back.
Yeah, this does work. Neon, they're not going to commit too hard. They are waiting for Yopaj to come in. So the DK is going to be up. They're going to have the Dragon form and the Beastmaster around to try to shove it in, but GeekFam, they TP back in.
the beauty is Carl just found the T1 top tower by himself. He's also going to take the outpost prior to that 10-minute mark and just try to hold that. And you're going to need every single hero from Neon Esports to try and take that outpost off him now. Like, he's level 8, he's about to hit 9, too far ahead, and they're not even going to try. They're going to let both the outposts go on Neon. So now you've got an XP problem on Neon Esports as well as a gold problem. It really is the work of the support here. Like, Jenny will start 4, Ruby start 5, with 10 minutes in. It's not all that bad, but you need these guys to be online now to try and help out your forwards and fun.
Yeah. It's tricky for that combo Oracle to kick off because that you're not going to fall doing it. All these thing.
Active arm time. With the take a bit of damage. Very successful kind of pick up the name. You've got to mention the fact that does take a 5-hero rotation to make that happen.
Yeah, it's a big investment to find a kill. Give them control back. You fam? They look that tier 1 god.
I mean, the battery is much more of a fighting item now as well in our meta. Like with those recent buffs it did get. I don't think you need to farm very much on Geek Fam with this. Like Carl, he's just so far ahead. He already has the early mech. The mech up, it doesn't imply that you're going to group up and start fighting. He's going for the very early Guardian Greaves rush as well on that Timber, which is not something you see very often. But it's not like they need a pipe. Worst case, they need a which is exactly what he's going for after those Greaves. But I think with Raven, he's going to be more than happy to just join his team straight after the Battle Fury. Obviously, he would try and bum up the Deco after that. But it's not going to hurt to just join your team. I think it'll be quite detrimental to Neon if he does. He's trying to take the boundary rune off that Radiant side, but Carl is there and he's just it's down now. Scam doesn't have battle trance, but it's okay. They back off. Still Zed does still play hard in the bot lane, but does die himself now as well.
Yeah, just a bit of a trade sports. In the end, still a better pick off for Geek Fam. That's slightly more gold for them, but yeah, I'm still gonna be happy with finding whatever they want. You do force movements out this space, but Neon started to find the pickoffs they want. It's time for Geek just back. Finish the eye you're looking for. Finish up that Battle Fury. First, you look at Cuckoo. He's just about to finish up his Fatal, so more room to grow on our Kunkka, and they can just kind of relax. They've taken tier 1s. Tier 2s are a bit trickier, as Neon does have with what they have now, so it's time to just reel it back a bit and just slowly build up.
But they will. They do hold a 5k net worth lead. Mid lane, they're going to try again onto this Timber. Carl is going to be in a bit of trouble here. Dragon Tail does come out as well, but he's got the they're trying, but he's going to fly with a nice torrent, and well, they're going to find play hard. Now it's a full-scale team fight. Jenny also in big trouble. Skem is also in huge trouble. Look at the battle. You've lost the Oracle, and now Rapid is going to get chased down. The Troll trying to fight back, does kill off Cuckoo, but it will not matter. It's a 1-4 trade. The only person to walk away is going to be your Page. And that's just the problem. You commit 5 heroes onto Carl, he doesn't fight, and his team meets up to just take an easy fight.
It's really tricky. I was surprised they took that fight so close to that mid-tier 1. There was still an access point for Geek Fam to find that back. So the aggression from Neon is it's not the right spot. It's not with the right hero, and they. You take a look at Raven, I think that is just about enough to give him Battle Fury, just 200 gold off, and after that, it's straight into the desert, as you mentioned. Just the damage really starting to up a huge amount for RPA, and it's kind of silly just how many neutral hammers you do need. One for the Fury, two for the Desolator, one for the BKB. A lot of hammers here too.
There's a lot of hammers. Raven does like his hammers very, very much.
Oh.
They chase him down now. Like, Wyman will not bother. The bot lane, the action's going to be pretty hard. He will take a boat. Still it's not going to matter. He just continues to tip people now as the pause comes out once again. This time Zeppa's going to have the problem.
Yeah. It is, okay. Hello, Mike. Is it okay now?
Yes.
You want to know what happened, Mike?
What happened, John?
I got my dad's phone, got a phone call. So the internet dies. Oh, this is great. It works when it works, but phone calls apparently break it up. Still, Neon, they could use a bit of a breakup. They're falling really behind. 9k lead for Geek Fam. They're just gonna have to bleed objectives up. There's no way they team into this. Not with how far ahead he is. See he come out onto scam. And that we're gonna sneak a rush with this.
Very easy. Yeah, they are trying to stick that rush now with the MKB. I do like this play from the ESPORTS, just trying to get something off the map. Any objective that they can get is worth taking, but do Geek Fam smell something? Yeah, Carl, he knows. He's running down. Or does he know? No, he doesn't.
No.
I thought he was the Dragon Mike, but then he's gonna feel like, well, he's gonna feel like he missed out on something there. He could have easily taken that Aegis away. But at the same time, you might not really care. Like, it's nice to get the Aegis for Neon. Definitely the gold's gonna help. But they are still gonna find themselves 10k gold behind. And you're getting closer and closer now to having that full Crimson Guard up. In fact, he does have it up. He's bringing the recipe out. He just wants the Guardian Greaves now on the Timber Saw. So that Aegis is only going to really mean that you have a secondary life in the Troll, but it's not like they're really struggling to kill you anyway.
No, definitely not. I mean, you do have a lot more time to try to kill Raven off. I think that's really just the objective, but Raven might be able to breach you down faster. Desolator is up and running. So if he thought his damage was left, I'm fairly certain he's dead now.
Hey, TP, pick up there from Neon. Just getting there, just getting straight into that. And all it took was a roar and the wasn't taking out though. To your heart. So much. Back to the way of Neon Esports.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just, the Timbersaw kill was great, don't get me wrong. But it's just every time I look at this net worth, it's just going up and up. It hasn't gone down once for Geek Fam yet.
No. It will build up as well, because Raven farmed a lot. And he went...
Sorry, John, you're going robotic again on me.
Just...
Anyway, Geek Fam still dominating this game. 11k net worth now. You look over the Scam, he clearly has a bit of damage there though, so he does have that comeback potential in this Troll. It's not like this game is over. They're just going to find a couple nice team fights on the side of Neon Esports to try and pull this one around. The top lane now being pushed by Raven.
Is under attack.
He's thinking about going after the tier 3 and let's clear out the creep wave now. Does actually hit the tier 3 tower as well. Nobody's there to react to this, so it's just free damage for Raven. Geek Fam was there as a team just in case Neon Esports made a big play on, but they don't. So Fam's gonna go back down to the bot lane, try to defend. As Rappy gonna get slowed up, but he will just TP out immediately. Instead, they make us stop the flick.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're just gonna make sure Output isn't being taken. Poor OJ Paz is just trapped in the tree line now. Well, apparently they do find the Aura. Wyman does secure the kill there on the campus. He's gonna blink strike out and be just fine. They are gonna try to go for a fight here, Neon. They don't quite initiate. They'll just continue controlling this. They've got a 14k lead now. You see, again, still trying to just trank that basher up. Needs the control he can get.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All right, Mike. I think it's back. It's back. It's my. All right. Oh, Mike. Okay, nice. Came back right in the pot.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Invisibility.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Sting me.
You hurt the ones you love. tribute. Radiant are scanning. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Come on, sprites! Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See you later, nerds. Oh, my lord!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Fortune favors the true.
Something in your eye?
Radiant victory!
hit the club, touchdown, gotta see what hand. Hit another one, it goes
Shakira.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
스캔 돌려야 된다고요. 골드볼 못해. 골드볼 못해. 나이스.
Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Neon Esports, and it is an LP. Your cam's back on. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, Mike. I'm feeling very good. I didn't get to see much of last series. We'll see if that will change this time. We do have Neon up against ADROIT, so another Filipino pair up. We'll see how many disconnects we get out of this one, huh? And it should be an interesting one. ADROIT, of course, doing a lot better in the group stages. Neon having more to prove. They've not had the most solid start. They're in the middle of the pack. Would have to win, and historically this matchup has really favored ADROIT. Like the past year, ADROIT has won both series that they've met up in, so it's really down to Neon to try to find something in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course,
Radiant team ban.
They are looking to make the final ban out, and it will be the Nature's Prophet. Looks like Neon Esports now have one ban left as well. Neon, they just came back from a series. They went 0-2 Geek Fam. I mean, we already talked last game, but unfortunately, ADROIT, which is another in this current group, not going to be a matchup. But hopefully, we'll see some draft changes out of Neon, and maybe we'll see a 2-0 victory from Neon. Who knows? So we are going to wait for this last now. They are going to start diving into the reserve time.
At ADROIT ban a couple of years that we actually saw Geek Fam play. We didn't really see Neon pick these up. The Timbersaw, of course, and Ricky. Fascinating. They actually don't want to deal with that as well. So it looks like ADROIT, they just want to have a steady victory onwards. Still have the mix of the DK in the pool. Queen,
10 seconds. Radiant
and we'll
team
find out what ADROIT wants to go for.
Like to have the current Phoenix
Dire
lining
team
up in the POS 5. Neon Esports, they do go back into the Beastmaster, and now they take the Queen of Pain to themselves.
Yeah, that's quite the shakeup for Neon. We've seen them on the Beast, but the Queen of Pain not so much. So it does make an appearance once more. Neon wants to give it a shot. You've got some flexibility there. Maybe they want to try to pause for Queen of Pain, but you know, I don't think you have room for it in the offlane, not when the Beast is there. So it's a strong opening for Neon.
5 seconds
Push
remaining.
from the Beast, burst potential from the Queen of Pain, and the mobility that Queen of Pain. That's really the QOP, so yeah, there's not quite control just yet from ADROIT. And it's the Beastmaster given enough space. Both of these heroes can whittle down the egg decently. You've got the aura from the Beastmaster to hopefully speed that up.
Enchantress.
Right. There's these pick up the. So you are lacking control here, but you have the most solid stuns. You don't have anything like the Bane to hold that Queen of Pain down, but you've got the answer to the Beastmaster, at least in that laning stage.
Radiant
Yeah,
team
absolutely. I do like the Enchantress. So we've been seeing this every time the Beastmaster does come out. Of course, they did have to deal with this Enchant versus Beastmaster lane in the previous match. Wasn't very nice for them, that's for sure. They did go for the Axis build on the Beastmaster, and well, it didn't really work out. Like it was kind of going okay, but ultimately they did throw quite a few kills away to Raven. And that was up against the PA pick, ironically enough, and we know they love running that safe lane PA. So it could actually be the exact same matchup that they're going to have to go through now on the side of Neon if they do go down the PA route. But for now, we'll wait out that one final ban, as we did see at ADROIT, they already got rid of the Morphling. The Neon now just going to spend a bit more time this final ban. I wouldn't quite blame them if they did want to respect ban the PA, but they do get rid of the Kunkka.
Yeah, it's, we saw them have some issues against that Kunkka, just too much durability coming out. I think when you consider the Phoenix pick, the Kunkka would have been really good. So they take that out. Neon, it looks like they're trying to pull a Leaf out from Geekcam, right? They pick up the Pugna themselves now. They're trying to play around with that. With the Pugna in play, it does leave it up to the Pugna or the pause for QOP. So there's still space there for either one to be core in this case, and it kind of preemptively guys cores like it's just very hard for those two to play up against the Pugna. So I like that from Neon. I think there's a lot of value in it. We'll see how ADROIT responds. I think some of their favorites have been taken out. One thing of note, though, I think you'd find this interesting as well. The Shaker has been left in the pool once more. Both teams not even prioritizing it as a ban out.
It's quite weird. I gotta say, the Earthshaker just keeps making it through, and even now, ADROIT, they go for the Pangolier pickup. Should be an offlane Pang. Both supports already sorted here for ADROIT. So it is another game of Neon Esports, however, with the Pugna pick. I wonder where they're putting that Pugna. Like whether it's going in the.
Remaining.
I mean, I doubt it's a mid lane Pugna. I'm sure it's support this game around.
Remaining.
I don't quite see a reason for it yet, though, if I'm quite frank. Like, it deals well with the Enchantress. You don't have to worry. But if the Enchantress is just a support, it's worth going to the Pugna pick.
Not really. Like, I think you'd want to look for more in there. It still works okay for Neon because this is really, again, making it hard for ADROIT to pick their preferred cores for Pranami. He really loves hitting cores, so it's just hard to.
Dire team pick.
ADROIT does change out in response to that. I do see Neon pick up the Grimstroke now, so there is some potency with that Grimstroke. In this case, you've got the double roar that comes out, so already a lot of value from that Grimstroke support. Even double decrep, right? So I do like it coming out. I think Neon will take that. It gives him a very fast pace in the game, and I think this actually starts to really enable a co-op
Radiant
support
team ban.
run by Geek Fam in different series. Still, ADROIT. They picked that Faceless Void up for Natsumi. We've seen him before. We see that Void and Phoenix combination once more. So the Chronosphere and Egg is in play. I think the one thing to watch for ADROIT is, of course, you have to catch the Pugna out, and
10 seconds
you have to play around the
remaining.
chrono timing.
That you do. Not only the
5
Pugna though, even the
seconds
Beastmaster, right? Like you've got the Raw from outside the chrono you can commit. It is a fairly long range. They chose that Void knowing those counters were existent for Neon. So, ADROIT, they must be feeling confident with that Faceless Void pickup. Still Neon, they are yet to make their final ban, so we can wait for the next ban from ADROIT and then see the final pickups here from both teams. Neon, they are still missing their pause 1 in all this, and ADROIT, they are still arguably missing a mid lane, because I'm still sure that if we not them and Soy. Neon, they're going to have a bit more of a thing. And that Quap should be going mid here. So it's just going to be a matter of
Yeah.
Team ban.
the Quap to play up against, and the Invoker comes in.
Dire team pick.
I don't know if that would really be in play. I have seen Invoker Voids, but again, you don't tend to see the early strike plays, so it's not really a value pick. Maybe the Alacrity buff for him to follow up from the Crow. I think it's been a Invoker work. Wouldn't it
10
be fit
seconds remaining.
into address with Mac anyway?
That is true.
5 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
ADROIT,
remaining.
their final pickup now. You wouldn't really be surprised to see something like a Alina come out here up against that Queen of Pain. We've seen that plenty of times. You also have the DK still there, surprisingly enough. Not that he could take that Quap, but at the same a couple.
Yeah,
The Dragon
it definitely doesn't.
defense, so much HP.
And it gives some good push for ADROIT. It
Radiant
deals
team
onto that. So it's really all end in the team fight. ADROIT, a lot of slippery heroes as well. Mainly Puck, but it does make it a bit trickier for Neon to slip the Puck. You roar the Void, or do you roar the Pangolier who kicked Rolling Thunder off. A lot of choices for
10
Neon.
seconds remaining.
I think playing, you have to hit that time on
5
Natsumi.
seconds,
He has to
5
find that
seconds
early
remaining.
farm. He has to be able to land those early chronos and really start applying pressures 5 very early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Neon, their final pickup now. Again, still that pause 1 pick we're looking for here. Let the reserve time tick out for this one.
Really tick out.
They will go all the way, yeah.
Spectre. You
All
may
right,
now select
Spectre it
your
is. I don't mind the Spectre in this, right? If you can drag it out to the Spectre, does become a real powerhouse. Matter of whether they can get that far.
Yeah. They're coming here from Neon. Compare ADROIT's draft, compare their timings when Natsumi's ready to fight. It is a lot earlier than Scam. Let's see whether it can buy that as or to give Scam the space. Really, the key are gonna have to play the long game. Scam has to be ready to go for the farm from minute 0. You have ways of doing that. Do play Queen of Pains. It's the core off. Yopaj is taking the Beastmaster.
How it all pans out. We have seen the mid beast master quite a bit last few days, and it had mixed results overall. I can't say it's been successful all the time. It can work out quite nicely though, I won't doubt that. It's a matter of how well the lane matchup is going to be, and I gotta say it's not easy up against the park. Matt should have the advantage in this, but overall. Paj, if he plays it right, he should be able to still secure himself some arm, and more importantly, those levels on this Beastmaster.
It's
one of this best of two, but of course before that we are gonna hit the pause. Rappy's gonna have a few issues. And,
that's good timing.
yeah.
It's a tradition. I mean, it's two Filipino teams, Mike. I'm not sure what any of us expect. This is just going to be terrible all this entire series. I'm just going to call it. The internet not going to be good. Just how it is. My internet's not good. Their internet's not good. No one's internet's good.
We've established that, John. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's not a great time. But, yeah, let's play this game, so at some point the unpause will come and we'll find out how well. I've mentioned this, but pattern every single, and then you 2-0 to next. Down to try to find that trick because ADROIT, they have been pretty on incredibly. Not me find it's all about Chrono and egg. Boomy has to be able to pop the egg right in the middle, and not me has to follow up immediately with Chrono. Ensure to follow up. Stun. And it's not easy to block.
Your mic's your internet's kind of lagging at the moment, unfortunately.
See you later, nerds.
It's alright though, no problem. Sure, it'll resolve itself. Things happen. Neon Esports look to start this off with the try up at the top lane. They'll probably just try and secure this room though on all stands. I doubt they'll stick around here. I'm sure Rappy is going to have to go down to that bot lane because the Spectre is quite susceptible to dying in phase if you do leave Skem like that. It's not going to be the easiest off lane either. You've got Boomy there on the pos for Phoenix with Ben Soy on the Pangolier. Another shot down that bot to make sure they get the Nunnies.
Didn't realize Nia had some people who were also Messiah.
Looks like CML, he's going to make his way back up top. Natsumi. He is actually going to be playing up. They're going to run the support Queen of Pain. Quite interesting. CML should have a tough time up against that quad. Not a straight damage after that Queen of Pain, and we actually saw that last game around. See how this these last hits. Of course, in the mid lane, you're going to be there on that Beastmaster up against Mac. The greatest. It's going to be with this, you know, you got more influence in the game. Enjoy the Willie's going to be chased down with Phoenix. He doesn't have Icarus side yet, but Ben Soy will be there to stop the kill from happening. going quite smoothly here. Neon, they are now securing farm just fine. Unable to
Radiant's
come
courier has been killed.
It's another thing you have to be a bit careful of. Well, the gold is okay. It's about a creep's worth of gold, but the XP is much higher than a creep. So you've got to be a little bit careful about how much of those balls you end up like giving away to Mac. So he can really start to out-level you if you're not too careful. Where even now you can see the difference in XP. And your punch is significant. It's almost a quarter of a level. These earlier levels, of course, that XP is going to matter a lot more. Matters worse.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Excuse me, that was the courier. So that's going to be even worse now for your part. Because now it's like another minute or so. Or bot lane. When so that Phoenix, he stuck around a bit too long, and part of Neon Esports were able to secure the kill. Not necessarily first blood as the gold was lit, but it's still again a great start for Neon. Much better than the last series. That just with that alone, they'll be pretty happy. Even if large mid lane, right? Just does not feel comfortable having to bring out more regen, but he doesn't want to go for the south. He will bring out the bottle instead. Again, that is going to end up the charge. It's not able to get the Rap is having good old time on Sumi. Never blast gonna Sumi now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
However, back to pump this point. I've got to say, far this is a significant improvement over that. Don't get me wrong, it's a game, but even these earlier stages playing that much better. Still, Mac is at the top of the last hits board in that park, which is going to be a cause of concern. You never really want to allow that puck to get too much farm, as already evasive as it is. If they're allowed to link up and everything else, it just gets it that much worse to try and kill off this puck. Your Page now trying to just kill the junk, but even Mac, he's not going to let him do this. Take it in. He actually lived mid lane. Force the puck down. Or Mac. Or at least for now, Mac's gonna even take that off you. CS with the ball. Kept the Beastmaster you master fine. Dream Coil hasn't actually his whole the fight. Trying to keep they really
Did you say stop?
Normally.
It's a very Matt Foil. Good duty out there again from Play Hard. And Matt not going to be too happy about that one. He'll have to make the rotation back to the mid lane, and he won't miss out on too much. The creep wave is at his tier 1 tower. That did give Page a bit of space at least to hit that level 6 mark now on the Beastmaster.